Good evening. Greetings, flesh creatures. And I have commandeered this channel. Welcome to the new and improved Starscream show, where I am leader over everything I see and everything you see. Starscream, what are you doing? I'm introducing my new show. You don't have a new show. You don't have a new show. This is my show. And I want to welcome everybody back here again. We're going to conclude our look at, the FoC figures. This guy rounds out Wave 3 of the Deluxes. We've looked at the few legends. We've looked at the Voyagers that I have. Still would like to have Blaster someday, but perchance to dream. And I didn't get the Combaticons repaints as the Wreckers to make Ruination. What can I say? I didn't have a link to that character the same way. But I most certainly did have to get the Transformers Generations Fall of Cybertron Starscream. Bow to me! Be quiet! Stick around, folks, and we're going to have a look at this guy in all of his glory and how I made him a little bit more glorious in the latest GotBot True Review. Okay, welcome back to the channel. This is your host, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot, and I welcome you back. Please, check me out everywhere on social media, check out my work, and we're going to have a look at this guy. It is the Deluxe class Leader of the Seekers, Starscream, and you can probably already tell that I did a nice bit of work with this guy. I've explained before that the FoC Soundwave is the guy that really got me back into collecting. And shortly after getting him hot on his heels came this guy. I did have to hunt a little bit for him, a few weeks. I guess it was in between getting shipments, but when I got him I was so happy to have a decent Starscream, because I'd been out of collecting for a while. I never did get the Classics mold, and he stacks up well with the Classics mold. There's Dirge, they scale really well, and now that I've got this guy, I really don't feel a draw to get that Classic Starscream, because I know that mold, while it looks phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal, it does have certain articulation limitations because it's a bit aged. This guy doesn't have those. I've said that with Thundercracker, I've said it with Skywarp, and the same holds true with Starscream. So let's look at him pretty quickly. His paint apps. Well, when I got him, and when you get him out of package, his upper thighs are red, and his wings are completely red. There might be a little gray patch. I almost can't recall now. And his upper shoulder pieces are gray as well. But I looked at that and said, that's not the way Starscream looks at all. The paint is off. So his paint apps, they only get about a 6, because I had to do a lot of work with them. I painted the legs silver, which there's a mix of unpainted gray and silver on this guy. I kind of wish that they had chosen to either use all unpainted gray or all silver. I don't mind using silver because it's silver that's on his guns, his null rays that unfortunately can't go up on his arms. I thought about painting his hands blue because they should be blue, but I didn't because it would have been difficult to match that blue. These upper pieces, I painted them red to match what's coming down, the side of his cockpit area here, because they should be red. And then came the wings. The wings, the biggest piece. I painted them silver. I had to get white and to add his little white line on both sides, and I had to really kind of mix a red a little bit because I wanted it to match this red as much as possible, and that's kind of a strange red, but I painted the red up there. I did not, however, do it on the outside, other than to put the silver here and here, just to give it a little bit of a touch. It would have been a lot of work to paint the wings for jet mode to be the proper gray color. So I didn't do it because I said I'm okay with him looking like Starscream as he should in robot mode. Like I said, it'd be nice if the null rays could go up on his or up on his biceps. What do you do? Such is life. But I think he looks great now. With my, added paint apps, I think it takes one from a 6 to at least a 9 for Starscream-osity. But yeah, officially about a 6. His possibility playability just the same as the rest of this mold, where the head goes all the way around and it looks up and down, and there's a beautiful head sculpt and great light piping. Just beautiful light piping. The arms can go right around 360. There's a bicep swivel, wrist articulation, super deep elbow bend, super splits ability, super high kick ability, leg all the way back, knees bend 90 degrees, thigh swivel, toe tilt. The only thing that this guy doesn't have is a waist swivel, and that's because of transformation. But he can do everything you want him to do, even ankle tilt. Even a little bit of ankle tilt on this guy. It's a great mold and a great toy. 10 for that. His transformation, I can tell you now, is also a 10. Overall, this guy is like a 8.75. Not quite as high as Thundercracker, because Thundercracker had better paint apps, but definitely just as high as Skywarp. I'll change him, I guess, really quickly, just so you can see him in his other mode. Really not focusing on it. If you want to see it in detail, check out the Thundercracker video, because that really kind of has the detail in it. But you can kind of see what I did. I put the toes in and I straightened out the whole body, because there's a little tab up here that goes into a little slot down right here, so I just unfolded that. There are armatures right here. You need to straighten them out. They should be 90 degrees in robot mode. You straighten them out in his plane mode. The arms, you bend them all the way up and you fill in his empty body cavity. And then you take this whole body piece and you flip it back, and there's a gray peg here and a hole on the leg, and a gray peg here and a hole on the leg, and all of that goes in, and you flip out the nose cone, and boom, here's Starscream in his, I'm going to call it a Tetrajet. It's certainly not his traditional fighter, but it's gray, it's red, it's Starscream. I'm okay with this. If you're not, maybe the Classics mold is better for you. The only reason that this works for me is because I don't mind his jet being a little bit stylized. It's obviously based on the version that appears in the Fall of Cybertron game, and I like that version. The guns can either go in pegs that are on the wings, or can go in holes that are on the wings, or holes that are on the legs, and they can go up under. Or you can take this piece out. You can take both guns and put them together to be one. He can hold on to both sides and fire them. There are 2 posts here and 2 holes right here. They can peg in like that. If you turn one turret, they both turn, which I think is kind of cool. You can plug that in on top, but it looks absolutely idiotic and ridiculous, so don't do that. Just don't do that. Pretend that this feature doesn't exist. You put that right back where it was, and you leave Starscream alone. So what do you do with these then? Well, you do just what you would expect to do with them, and that's put them under his wings, because that's where Starscream's gun should be. I know that these are not his traditional null rays either, but triple barrel gun, come on. How's that not cool? I like it. I like it. Even though I had to add some stuff, I like it. It doesn't really change much of anything in this mode, other than the little bit of silver added up right here. But besides that, I guess I guess instead of having red right here, you have silver now as well. But overall, it still looks the same. Take those out. What's my overall score? Well, I already told you, it's 7.5. Look, all of these scored really, really well because it's a good mold and they make great seekers. Honestly, I think that this trio is one of the strongest seekers trios that they've ever done. And that's saying something because they've done some great seekers trios. Now, there is a disclaimer. Obviously, when I say one of the greatest seekers trios they've done, I can't compare it to the masterpiece because, you know, masterpiece is masterpiece. But in terms of chug versions, I still think that these stand as one of the absolute best because of how functional and just plain fun they are. And this is a few years removed now, and they still stand up as fantastic. So here is Starscream. He is flanked by Skywarp, and he is flanked by Thundercracker. And you tell me that that is not an impressive looking trio of the Season 1 Seekers, of the traditional Seekers. They look beautiful to me. And I guess since I own them, well, that's all that really counts. If you dig them, what I suggest, going looking for them, yeah. If you don't dig the, kind of the stylized look, then hey, my next suggestion would be get those classics, because that's the next best thing. Anyway, that's it. We've had a look at a bunch of Fall Cybertron toys. It's been fun. I'm glad you've been along for the ride. We've had a look at these Seekers. I've been waiting to do them for a while. I'm so happy and proud of the work that I did there on Starscream. I think he looks so much better. Anyway, I thank you for dropping by. I thank you for spending a little bit of time here. Bow down! Stop speaking, Starscream. These people are our guests. And while you might want to dominate and don't appreciate them giving up some of their time to spend with us, I certainly do. And with that being said, I guess the only thing left to say is thanks for watching, and I look forward to the next time that you and I get together for a visit right here inside the videos, even if Starscream doesn't approve.